Hello and welcome everyone. You're here with Brothers Forge Gaming. This is Mappy-Land on the NES. And I know what you're thinking. How could this cutesy little happy looking game be anything but all that fun and excitement you would expect out of an NES game? You thinking leisure stroll down the yellow brick road, clicking your heels together, wanting to go home. That kind of stuff is not applicable here. Although, the game does start out somewhat approachable. Like any good Nintendo game, down the stretch is where it really comes to play. Now this is about, I'd say, a 40-minute playthrough or so, guys. This is every level of the game, every puzzle. I'm not going to say I did this flawlessly. The editing was rough. But what I will say right now is that I did glitch this game out. Now every fourth level, it's this like jungle, hard-ass, it's the hardest levels if you ask me, is the four, I think it's the 4 spot of each one of these worlds. Hardest level. I glitched the game out. Recently, Easy was telling me something about minus worlds. I guess there's all this cool stuff that's being discovered on these really old Nintendo games. Stuff that's 30 years later coming to light. Now, I'm not saying I found a minus world, but when you get there, if you want to skip right to it, go check out World 3, 4. I want to say that's the first time that happened. I don't want to spoil anything. But when you get there, what's weird is that the rest of the game was unaffected except for the 4 level. So 3, 4, and 4, 4, I basically had to play the game blind. And mind you, this is the first time I had played this game outside of testing it when I first bought it. I have not spent any amount of time with this game until now. Playing those levels in the dark was really hard. And I did okay through most of the game. You know, it died here and there. But it probably took me longer to beat 4-4 in the dark than it took me to beat any other level, or all the rest of the levels in the game. Keep that in mind. You know, I cut it up so you don't have to watch that. But check that out. Like I said, skip ahead to that. Check that out. If you know anything about that, let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested to hear if anybody has ever seen that glitch before. What's going on with that? It was totally random. I have the original full playthrough too, if for whatever reason that, you know, somebody wants to view all that unedited to see how it happened. Basically, I left a little clip in there before, because I fell off a vine and hit one of the top layers, and then it killed me. And then after that, I know I immediately continued, and when I went back to that same stage, it went blank. So I was thinking to myself, is that normal? Maybe that was supposed to happen. I almost thought about restarting the game and going from there, because you can do a level select, and I thought about doing that. You can't select every level, but I think it's every other level. And anyway, enough about that. Go check it out if you want to see it. Let me know what you think on that. But it was hard. This game was hard enough at certain spots to have to do those levels in the dark. Oh man. Anyway, this is a very fun game. As you can see, as you progress through the levels, you get different variations. Okay, so you're getting to ride the balloon. You went to the jungle level. And further you go into the game as well, this is one of the first times, I believe, you have to go into this side. Okay, so you do the normal platforming puzzle level you would expect, but now you have to go find an alternate method, and that starts to go more and more through the game. So keep an eye out for that. Some of those spots are tricky. They are in here, so if you're stuck and you're wanting to look for a way to find those spots, they are in this video. If you don't want to know where those spots are, maybe don't watch the whole video. Anyhow, Easy and I here at Brothers Forge Gaming, what we're doing, we're calling it 50 for 50. Okay, we are challenging ourselves to beat 50 Nintendo games over the next 5 months. Now that's not 50 a piece, but 50 in total, so 25 a piece. What you're seeing right here is the first entry into that. Now, all these might not air within the 5 months, but what we're trying to do is get the 50 games beat. So far, we have 8 beaten And it is April 1st today. Happy April Fools, everyone. Anyhow, we are going to have those beat over the next 5 months, which will be our 3rd year anniversary here on YouTube. 3 whole years. What a fun time we've had. And so we thought we would celebrate by doing what we're calling 50 for 50. Doesn't really make sense, I mean, but I don't know why. I think that's something else, and I'm kind of just keying in on wherever else I heard that. But I like it. It sounds good. Whether we'll get there or not, I don't know. Like I said, we've got 8 so far. So yeah, we're about almost 8% there, whatever it is, 10%. We're on our way. Basically, only have to beat 5 games each a month over the next 5 months, with some change in there. So guys, stay tuned to see if you want to see some more NES games be beaten. If you watched our channel update, it was something we talked about wanting to beat. I did a video a few weeks back about the games I have beaten and the games I want to beat that are in my collection. So if you want, go back, check that out if you want to look for a more extensive list. But up and coming, I have Bugs Bunny. I need some time to carve out 1942, a solid run of that. If I want to go for high score on that, I need some good time to get to that one. So because it's gonna be a high score run, I got to do it, not flawless, but uninterrupted, so it doesn't look like I cut a bunch of stuff together. Let's see what else. Got Breakthrough. Oh man, I took down Adventures of Tom Sawyer yesterday actually. And that game, oh my gosh, it is a fun game. I'll talk about it during the review of that. It's a fun game, but oh man, it's an early platformer with rough controls, one-hit deaths, very few checkpoints. So you could imagine. But all right, so that is the first world of Mappy-Land. And the end cutscenes of the worlds are cool. I think the next one, I don't want to spoil them, but I think the 3rd one is the best one, and it's very festive, which I like anytime you can find in a game. Now, on that last level, as you saw, I had trouble. I didn't understand what I was supposed to be doing. You have to find all the cheeses and get to it. It's not a bonus stage. You still have to get all the cheese. There isn't a counter, and one was hiding in the picture. I couldn't see because the color on this game is pretty rough. It reminds you of even like an early Amstrad or Commodore, one of those early computer graphics that got ported. Like they didn't change anything and got ported here. There are some games like that on the NES. Indiana Jones, Lode Runner. Some of them are almost direct PC ports. And they're a little rough on the graphical composure of the whole thing. But anyway, if you guys are looking for a fun game, I would say this is more of a high score game. And once you beat it, it just starts over. Games like this are hard to define whether or not you can beat them or not. But I would say there's a definite end screen. Whether you have to beat this thing like 60 times or reset the game or get it to freeze to truly beat it, I don't know. And I don't ever want to know. I don't care to know. I'm never going to find out. Whatever. I'm saying I beat it. It's beaten. It's on the shelf. It's getting... one thing else we're doing too, games that aren't too expensive, we're calling it You Beat It, You Buy It in box. So you beat that game, you get it in box. Now we're trying to hold true to that, especially on games that we do want in box. But we're going to be beating a lot of NES games, so some of them that are more pricey are going to be harder to get. We're going to have to get them down the road. But that's kind of how this whole thing started, and then it's evolved and morphed into what it is now. But that's what it is. But anyway, you'll see us be beating some games, and it's going to be a good time. So come on back, join us for our 50 for 50 segment. And like I said, this is a good game. Go out there, grab it up. If you like puzzle games, it reminds me of, say, Donkey Kong or even Burger Time. Our buddy, local resident Burger Time master, Cockbag. I feel like he would enjoy this game because it is systematic and you can rack the people up. Almost even like Flicky as well. So if you guys like games like that, this is a great game for you if you haven't played it. The controls are a little rough because you got to bounce on these damn trampoline things and you can't really move. And it's kind of similar to, say, early Donkey Kong, or even some of those games where if you fall too far, like even a centimeter too far, you die. And so you got to watch out for that in this. But if you can get around all that and some of the just wonky mechanics of the whole thing, and you've got yourself a really great game right here, and it's actually very inexpensive. It's cute as hell. So go out there, grab up yourself some Mappy-Land, put it to the test. If you can beat this game in the dark, like I said, get to the part where I'm talking about, where the game freezes, and if you can beat it in the dark without any direction, kudos to you, my friends. We thank you for tuning in. You've been hanging out with Brothers Forge Gaming, and we'll see you on the next run.